Hello everyone, how are you all? I'm Pallavi here. I want to share a thought with you guys. Dream it, wish it, do it. My favorite proverb, guys. Until unless you dream about something, about what you want to achieve, until unless you wish that dream to come true, until unless you do it, you need to have a process to finish it. How will you achieve what you have dreamt, what you have wished? Correct? So always remember this. Dream it, wish it, do it. Okay? So my dear students, we had finished 2 more chapters from reflections. Correct? I'm going to start with a couple of chapters from articulation. Okay? So the next chapter, what we have today for you is subject-verb agreement. Guys, the next chapter which is there in your articulation is subject-verb agreement. As the name suggests, we are supposed to know the relationship between subject and the verb. Okay? I have told you this already in my previous videos. A sentence will always have 3 parts. Correct? The first is subject, verb, and the object or the predicate. Correct? We need to know the relationship of the subject with the verb to make the sentence meaningful and to make sure that there are no grammatical errors in your sentence construction. Fair enough? So guys, before I explain the definition of the term or definition of the heading, agreement of the verb with the subject, just look at that picture. You will clearly come to know what I'm trying to explain here. First and foremost, try and understand, we have singular and plural under numbers. We have pronouns under persons, as in first person, second person and third person. Hope you remember. Singular and plural in numbers, first person, second person and third person. Right? If you look at that picture, there is one dog and there are 2 girls playing. There are 2 girls playing. There is a dog. So, basic rule of subject-verb agreement is the verb must agree with the subject in number and person. In the sense that, if you look at that particular example of example 1, the dog is playing in the park. The dog is singular. Correct? So, when you have a singular subject, you need to have a singular verb. That is the meaning of the verb must agree with the subject. Got it? When the subject or the noun is in singular, you need to have a singular verb. Look at the second example. Children are playing in the park. Children is a plural term. Correct? So if you have a plural word, if you have a plural subject, you need to have a plural verb. Are playing is the verb. So children are playing in the park. Hope you understood, guys. We shall do a lot of examples. I shall tell you different rules relevant from your exam perspective and what is prescribed for you from the board, because this subject verb agreement is there even in the next year for second year as well. So when we get into second year, I'm going to explain even more depth. Okay, so as of now, I'm going to give you the rules there, because there are n number of rules, guys, under subject verb agreement. Sometimes it will confuse you. So don't worry, we are going to go slow. I'm going to explain the most relevant rules of subject verb agreement. Alright, shall we start? Dear students, the slide which you can see here is very, very important. So let's drill into our heads the fundamentals of our subject verb agreement. Understand this. Read this properly. Noun without an S is singular. Noun with S is plural. The same way, verb without an S is plural. Verb with S is singular. Let's talk about some examples here. Noun without an S. Say for example, a child, a boy, a kid, a teacher, a student, a movie star. Verb with S. Say for example, girls, children, toys, men, women for that matter, right? Verb without an S is plural. Say for example, cry, sit, dance, eat, etc. etc. Verb with S is singular. Eats, cries, sits, sleeps, walks. Let's talk about some sentences which will make you understand this in a better manner. So, understand this first. Subject or a noun without an S is singular. Subject or a noun with S is plural. First rule. Again, verb without an S is plural. Verb with S is singular. For example, Kavya writes her exam. Kavya is singular, so obviously verb should also be singular. Verb with S is singular, remember. So Kavya writes her exam. Correct? Now the students write their exam. Students with an S, noun or a subject with an S, so plural. So obviously plural or a subject should have a plural verb. So verb should be without an S. So the students write their exam. Hope you got it, guys. This is like little, probably we all know this. This is like little confusing because even though we might have known this in so many years, while talking we may commit mistakes. Okay, it's but natural. You need to have that the conscious. You need to have that conscious thought, and you need to put your words into action. That means to say, when you talk, when you converse in English, please analyze what you're trying to say. Okay, for a fraction of a minute, that's okay. Just analyze, okay, can I use this particular word here? Will that make sense? Will that be grammatically correct? So these things you need to take care of initially when you start talking when you start conversing in English. Alright, then you can do this just like a pro. Alright, hope you understood till now. Let's talk about rule number 1, guys, in a little more depth. Okay, as I kept saying, the verb must agree with the subject in number and in person. Number I told you already. Person as in first person, second person and third person, which comes under pronouns. Let's discuss about first person. Who are these first persons? First person in the sense I in singular, plural of I is we. So first person stands for I in singular, we for plural. Second person stands for you in singular, you again in plural. But generally what we do is, for singular we say you, yes. Plural, even though you itself is enough, we don't stop there. We say you all. That is okay, not an issue. You for singular and you all is plural. Third person is your he, she, it, that, this. Even say if you're not talking about pronouns, the nouns as well come under third person. So how are you going to use the first person with your verbs? Say for example, I write. I wouldn't say, we are not supposed to say I writes. You write, but it's not you writes. He, she writes. It's not he, she write. Boys write, but boys writes is completely wrong. Understood? So, when you talk about the first person with the verb, please take care of these things. This is like just a bird's eye view, guys. We are having the rules in actual to know which verb should be there in that particular sentence to make the sentence grammatically correct. Alright, let's go to the next rule. The second rule is pretty easy, very easy. In fact, we all know and is a conjunction. When two subjects are connected by a conjunction, or rather by the conjunction and, the verb will be plural. Got it? When two subjects or two nouns are connected by the conjunction and, the verb will be plural. Say for example, Preeti and Kavya are good friends. Do we say Preeti and Kavya is good friends? No, na. So Preeti and Kavya, two subjects. They are connected using the conjunction and. So two subjects connected using the conjunction and will have a plural verb. So are good friends. Children and teachers are going on a trip. Think about some examples like this. Alright guys, very easy rule. Rule number 2. Hope you got it. So sweethearts, rule number 3 here. There are 2 variations under rule number 3. Let's do the first one. If 2 or more subjects refer to the same person or a thing, the verb must be singular. I repeat, if 2 or more subjects, 2 or more nouns refer to the same person or to the same idea or to the same thing, the verb must be singular. For example, my friend and novelist has come. My friend and novelist has come. What do you mean by that? Now, my friend, one subject, novelist, again about the character of that particular person. How will you make out the difference? Just check the second variation here. I have made a mention of the article the here. Hope you are able to see this. I have made the mention of article the. What do you mean by this? In the first variation, my friend and novelist has come means to say I am talking about one person. That person is my friend. He is also a novelist. Understood? That person is my friend and he is also a novelist. So I am not talking about 2 people. I am talking about just one person. He has come or she has come. So my friend and novelist has come. Has a singular. Understood? Second example. The king and the great warrior of all times has sacrificed his life for the country. Now tell me, am I referring to 2 people here or am I referring to one person? The king and the great warrior, if at all I had mentioned the great warrior here, then things would have been different. I'm not discussing on that at this moment. Let's stick on to the first variation only. The king who was a great warrior as well. The king who was a great warrior as well of all times has sacrificed his life. I am talking about one king over here who was also a great warrior. Understood guys? So first variation talks about the same person or same thing and adjectives attached to him. Fair enough? Coming to the second version. If different persons are referred to, the article should be used before each noun and the verb should be plural. I repeat, if different persons are referred to, like there are 2 entities, 2 people whom we are talking about, you need to prefix the subjects with the article. A and the. So the article should be prefixed before each noun. Obviously, the verb will become plural. So the poet and the humorist are the chief guests for the day. Whom are we talking about here? Are we talking about one person, or are we talking about two people? The rule says poet has been prefixed with the, humorist is also prefixed with the. So that means to say we are talking about two people, a poet and a humorist, and they are the chief guests for the day. So two people are there on that particular dais, or on that particular waiting for that particular event, or they are the chief guests for the day. So the poet and the humorist. Humorist, separate entity. Poet, a separate entity. Got it? Second example, the principal and the orator have adorned the dais. The principal and the orator. Again, two separate people, guys. It's not just one person we're talking about. We have the principal and the orator. Say for example, he is the chief guest. So he is a very good orator. So we have mentioned him, or rather we are going to call him as the best orator, or the most famous orator. So the principal and the orator have adorned the dais. It's not has a singular. Have is plural. Here it's not s, it's r. Is a singular, r is plural. And whom do we call an orator? A person who has got brilliant communicative knack, a person who speaks fluently, a person who is effective enough to catch the attention of the audience. He is called the best orator, or the most effective orator. Got it, guys? So rule number 3 talks about the basically two variations in the same. And if you prefix the with the subjects, we are talking about two people. If it's not, then we are talking about one person. Hope you understood, guys. So next rule number 4. When two subjects express one idea, the verb will be singular. I repeat, when two subjects express one idea. What do you mean by that? Rice and curry. We cannot eat rice just like that. We just cannot eat curry alone. We have to have the two things together. We need to mix these two things and eat. So rice and curry go hand in hand. Talks about one idea. It expresses one idea. Rice and curry is my favorite dish. We cannot say rice and curry are my favorite dishes. If something of that sort, if you're trying to mention it, guys, if you're trying to say rice and curry are my favorite dishes, that means to say we are eating it separately without mixing curry. We are just eating curry without mixing it with rice. Okay, so rice and curry is my favorite dish. Next, time and tide waits for none. I'll tell you, I am going to talk to you about this in little more depth. Time and tide waits for none. Time and tide, if I consider it as one single idea, which expresses one idea, obviously singular subject will have singular verb, waits. If you consider time and tide separate, then it would have been time and tide wait for none. So in actual, both the verbs could be put in this sentence, if at all you consider, if the idea of time and tide is one, then it is singular, you will use waits. If time and tide is separate, as time and tide you consider it as separate terms, then you can use wait. Alright, but whenever you discuss or say something on a particular subject or on a particular sentence for that matter, you need to reason it out, guys. Okay, you need to give as to why. If not, follow the rules. Next, bread and butter is the staple breakfast for Westerners. Bread and butter is the staple food. Is again, bread and butter convey the same idea, that means expresses one idea. So bread and butter is the staple breakfast for Westerners. Am I clear, guys? So fourth rule is when two subjects express one idea, the verb will be singular. Alright? Okay, so rule number 5, guys. Very important, little tricky to remember and confusing. So let's go with this little slow. The sentence is beginning with either, neither, each, everyone, no one, none, one of, every, except all will have singular verb. What do you mean by that? Let's get into the examples first. Each candidate was a worthy one. Each candidate. Okay, we are not talking about candidates as in whole. We are talking about one candidate at a time. So each candidate was, it's not were, a worthy one. Everybody, everyone is supposed to attend the meeting. Everybody or everyone. Okay, again, everyone as in group is supposed to attend the meeting. Everyone in the sense each one of you is supposed to attend the meeting. It's not are. Neither of the student leaders has come. It is not have. None of you has taken it seriously. None of you has taken it. It's not have. Very important, the last one. One of my cousins has come from my native. One of my cousins, of all the cousins. So we are talking about one person. So obviously the verb should be singular. One of my students is late. Understood? One of my teachers is competing with the group. So is, was, am, all these singular verbs should be there if a sentence starts with one of. Okay, you might have heard these questions. Are everyone present? Have everybody come? Yes, completely wrong, guys. Is everybody present? Has everyone come? Alright, please try to rectify these mistakes from now on at least, and try to write your own examples beginning with these terms. Of course, I have done this. I have given a couple of exercises at the last. We shall do this. We shall do the examples. However, put in your conscious effort as well so that this will also become easy for you. Fair enough? Okay. Rule number 6. Again little confusing. Let's go slow. If two singular nouns joined by two conditions here, and first condition is if two singular subjects is connected with the conjunction and. First condition. Second condition, they should be preceded by each or every. They should have each or every before them. Then the verb will be singular. Okay, if two singular nouns joined by and also supposed to be preceded by each or every, the verb should be singular. For example, each boy and each teacher was given a box of sweets. First condition, there is the conjunction and. The two subjects, two nouns are connected using the conjunction and. First condition is satisfied. Second condition, each subject should be prefixed or preceded by each or every. Each or every, or each is also fine. Check out in the third sentence, third example. So each boy and each teacher, both the conditions are met. So obviously what should be the verb? The verb should be was given. It's not were given were given. It's not were, it is was given a box of sweets. Each day and each hour brings in hope to move ahead. Each day again, each hour again, connected with the conjunction and. So obviously the verb should be singular. Brings, it's not bring. Remember, S in the verb is singular. Without an S in the verb is plural. So singular verb, brings. Each son and every daughter has equal responsibility. Each son and every daughter, again both the conditions are met. Obviously will have has as your verb. Understood, guys? So two singular nouns or singular subjects joined by and are preceded by each or every. So in that case the verb should be singular. Alright. Rule number 7, guys. Please listen to me carefully. Two or more singular subjects connected by or, nor, either or, neither nor, then the verb must be singular. Okay. For example, either Ravi or Ram. Say I have taken this, either or. So either Ravi or Ram has taken my book. It's not have. Has a singular. No nook or corner was left unexplored. It's not were. Writing summary or essay is mandatory in exams. Okay. Every rule has an exception. Even rule number 7 has exceptions. Exception for that matter. Let us talk about the exception. When one subject is in singular. First exception, guys, when one subject is in singular and the other subject is in plural. Alright, one subject is in, first subject is in singular, for example, second subject is in plural, and they're connected by either or nor. They're connected by either or nor. What should be how should be the verb here? What verb should be placed here? The verb should be plural, and the plural subject should be placed near the verb. Plural subject should be placed near the verb. What do you mean by that? Look at the example there. Either mother or daughters have cooked this. The rule is the verb should be plural. So I'm not mentioning it, I'm not taking it as has here. We have taken it as have. So the verb should be plural. So have. First condition. Second condition is the plural subject should be placed near the verb. So out of mother and daughters is plural. So we are supposed to place daughters, the plural subject, before the verb. Either mother or daughters have cooked this. It is not has. Understand? Neither Varun nor his brothers are to be blamed. Again, the rule is the verb, even when two subjects, one is singular and other one is plural, are connected by either or nor. Okay, and this is very important. First rule is the verb should be plural. Fair enough. We have are here. The first rule condition is met. Second rule, or rather the second condition is we should have the plural subject before the verb. So neither Varun nor his brothers are to be blamed. Understood? Now, second one. If two subjects are of different persons, again persons, I, you, we, he, is, he, she, that, these are the pronouns we're talking about. So if two subjects are of different pronouns, the verb must agree with the subject nearest to it. Again, please understand, if two subjects are of different persons, the verb must agree with the subject nearest to it. Neither you nor I am at fault. I cannot say I are. I is. No. With I, it is always am. So, if I am placing you first and I later, what is the correct verb to be placed after I? It is always am. Correct, I am. It's not I are. So, neither you nor I am at fault. if you want to interchange, okay, neither I nor you are at fault. I cannot say you am, you is, you was. No, you, neither I nor you are at fault. So don't get confused. Let's try this with the second example. Either you or he is supposed to attend the meeting. Two subjects which are pronouns, you and he. The second subject is he. These two subjects are connected using or. He is the second subject which is placed just before the verb. So which verb should be placed here? The verb should correspond to the second subject. The verb must agree to the second subject. I cannot say he are. Can I? I cannot say he am. Can I? No. So he will always have is. In the present form, he was in the past form. I am not discussing on that. I am talking about under this rule, if you have two pronouns connected with or, you are supposed to have the verb which is to the nearest subject. So he is the second subject. You need to have a is there. So this is rule number 7, guys. As I said earlier, I'm trying to say this again. Please go through this again and again. Do not try to commit the same mistakes anymore. Alright? Rule number 8. When a singular subject is joined to another subject by the terms like with, as well as, together with, besides, along with, in addition to, etc., etc., etc. The verb, the condition, the verb must agree with the subject that stands first. I repeat, there are two subjects, correct? Two subjects, one is singular, another one is plural. Say for example, when a singular subject is joined with another subject, generally plural. How are these two things connected? How are these two subjects connected? Using the terms with, as well as, together with, along with, in addition to, besides, etc., etc. The verb, very important, must agree with the subject that stands first. For example, the house, first subject. Its contents, second subject. The house is the first subject. Second subject is its contents, connected using the phrase along with. What verb are we using here? Was robbed. Why not were? The reason, the rule is was, because this verb should correspond to the first subject which is singular. The house is singular. So obviously the verb over here should also be singular. Gold as well as silver is liked by every woman. Gold as well as singular. Gold as well as silver is liked by every woman. The captain and his soldiers. There are two subjects here. The captain and his soldiers. How are these two subjects connected? Together with is the term. Together with is the phrase used to connect the captain and his sailors. Which form of verb should we use? Should we use dares or should we use dare? Again, verb with an S is singular, remember? So the captain is singular. Obviously the verb should also be singular. Dares, not dare, to cross the English Channel. The captain together with his sailors dares to cross the English Channel. Another example, say the policeman or the inspector with 5 constables. Think about the term, but think about the verb here. Catches the robber, catches the thief. Catches singular, the policeman or the inspector is singular. Got it, guys? So when a singular subject is joined with another subject using any of these terms, the verb must agree with the subject that stands first. Remember this, very important. Rule number 9. Some nouns which are plural in form. What do you mean by that? By its spelling. If you want to tell me if I say spell out, spell the term, spell the word physics, spell the term mathematics. So plural in form but singular in meaning takes a singular verb. So some nouns which are plural in form, but singular in meaning, they take a singular verb. For example, mathematics makes you analyze the problem. It's not mathematics make. Why? Mathematics, if you spell, it has an S in that word, plural in form, but it is singular. The meaning is singular. So obviously the verb should be singular. The news is not always accurate. Yes or no? News. Again, even though it sounds as in plural by the spelling, it is not plural, it is singular. So it is news is not accurate always. Economics, the same thing. Teaches you the knacks of business. It's not teach. It is teaches you the knacks of business. Very easy, right? So this is rule number 9 for you. The last rule, guys, rule number 10. The collective nouns generally take singular verbs according to the sense of the sentence. Important, this is the catch. According to the sense of the sentence. For example, the committee, which I consider it as one body over here, has elected him as its president. Collective noun as in whole. However, the committee, wherein over here we are talking about the members of the committee. They have elected him. So obviously over here I consider committee as in members of the committee. So it is have elected him. The next is very important. Sentences beginning with a flock of, a herd of, a group of, a bunch of, generally or usually take singular verb. What do you mean by that? A group of smugglers was caught. It is not were caught. A group or a gang of students is standing at the gate. A bunch of flowers is kept on the kitchen shelf. A flock of sheep blocks my road every morning. It is not block. So remember, this is like very important. Whenever you have the sentences beginning with these terms, you need to have a singular verb. Hope you got it, guys. Understood? So dear students, these were the basic 10 rules of subject-verb agreement. There are n number of rules, as I said earlier, but I'll not get into all that at this moment, because anyways you have the same next year as well. Okay, I'll tell you in detail about, or rather give you more rules about subject-verb agreement in the next year. Okay, so however we shall do some practice. We shall try and answer few or rather fill up few verbs pertaining to the rules, following the rules which I have taught you all this while. Alright, so let's begin. Fill in the blanks with suitable verbs given in the brackets. The accountant and the cashier dash been dismissed. What should be the verb here? I have given you the answers, I know, but let's analyze. What should be the answer here? Is it have or has? It should be have. Why is it have? We are talking about two people, the accountant and the cashier. Yes or no? So obviously it is have. Each of the boys was awarded. It's not were awarded, because again remember, each of the boys was awarded. Neither of them was absent. It is not were absent. Peace and prosperity. One idea, one theme put together, obviously will have a singular verb. Is the need of the hour. The clothes of this man looks dirty. It is not look, guys. We are talking about clothes as in whole. I'm not talking about the shirt alone. I'm not talking about the trousers alone. The clothes as in whole of this man looks dirty. That's the reason it is singular verb. 30 kilometers. Guys, any sentence which begins with hours, numbers, fractions, percentage will always have singular verb. 10 kilometers or 30 kilometers or 10 hours. Okay, 50 rupees, even rupees, currency for that matter, is a pretty long distance. It is not hour. A group of smugglers was arrested last night. It is not verb. Slow and steady, again one idea, wins the race. Singular, so singular verb. The United States has a big army. It's not have. The quality of apples was not good. It is not verb. Got it, guys? So these are the basic exercises or basic examples which you need to remember, because even from the exam point of view, something related to these will be asked. Next slide, I'm going to give you, in fact, I'm going to explain to you one of the exercises which is there in your textbook. Let's go for it. So, guys, as I said earlier, we shall do one of the exercises from the textbook. So, please go to page number 17. Let's do the exercise from the textbook. Fill in the blanks with the verbs given in the brackets. Every seat in this bus has a number. It's not have. Every seat. However, guys, remember this is the rule which we were talking about. All seats except all. Remember, all seats in this bus have numbers. Yeah? Next. One of my friends is visiting me this evening. It's not are. A number of questions were asked in the interview, not was. The crowd was dispersed by the police. Collective noun. The Prime Minister with his cabinet colleagues has arrived. Remember this rule again. Has, not have. The captain of the Indian team as well as his players is here. The captain is singular. Obviously, the verb should be singular. Either intelligence or hard work is required to get good marks. Yes or no? Neither Gopal nor Suresh attends our meetings. It's not attend. Krishnamurti or Narayan will serve food to the guests. It's not serves. Alright, guys. Hope this exercise really helped you all to understand the subject-verb agreement better. Yeah? Okay. So, dear students, I'm sure you would have understood my explanation on subject-verb agreement. Like, comment and share. Do subscribe and hit the bell icon. Okay? And any doubts for that matter, please comment below. And I'm there to help you out. So happy learning, guys. Love you all. Keep smiling. Take care. See you soon. Alright? Bye-bye.